Large pounding Bay Area waves proving to be too much for one surfer. The beach rescue that has left him in critical condition. That's all unfolding at Ocean Beach, which had huge swells this afternoon.
Yeah, other surfers out there say they were simply too scared to paddle out this afternoon. KPIX 5's Julie Watts spoke to some of the surfers about the rescue. She's live at Ocean Beach tonight with a story. Julie?
Yeah, Ken, there was no high surf advisory today, but by all accounts from surfers and rescuers, the ocean here definitely was rough. In fact, take a look. They say this area of Ocean Beach, they refer to it as slowed, is generally one surfers try to avoid. But at low tide, the current does pull everything down this way, including surfers. And this is the area where the unconscious surfer washed up, still attached to his board.
So we had a patient that had no cardiac rhythm at all.
And even though rescuers were able to restore a weak heartbeat, Lieutenant Baxter says they're not optimistic.
And I don't want to give a false hope that he's completely revived.
If he does survive, he likely owes it to a fellow surfer who jumped into action while waiting for emergency crews to arrive.
There was a guy giving him CPR with his board.
It appears the victim was surfing alone today, but local surfers say you're never really alone at Ocean Beach.
Everyone looks out for each other when they're out there to make sure that, like you want somebody to look out for you.
This drone video of another surfer shows just how rough the surf was. The drone pilot, a surfer himself, said he didn't know this guy, but kept the drone up to keep an eye on him, worried he might need to call 911. As you can see, this surfer gets pummeled by wave after wave. Eventually, he made it in. But Lieutenant Baxter says around here, there's no guarantees.
If you're a professional seasoned surfer specific to Ocean Beach, you know the dynamics that occur here, but we're pulling those surfers out of the water now based on the conditions that we're having.
Now, rescue workers know there are no lifeguard towers here on Ocean Beach for a reason. In part, they say it's because they don't want to give people a false sense of security that this water is safe to wade into. In fact, rescue workers told me today that the rip current here is so strong, it could pull a grown man in ankle-deep water off his feet and out to sea, Ken.
Absolutely, Julie, happens all the time out there. And as you mentioned, it's not just the rough surf, it's also the rip current, the rip tide that's out there. Most of the surfers, as the officer said, are fairly experienced. Did this guy have that kind of experience? Was he a local experienced surfer?
That's a good question, Ken, and we don't know a lot about who this victim is. Obviously, he was gone quite quickly, so he did appear to be surfing alone. At least there was nobody else out here who came and spoke to rescuers. So right now, we actually don't know how experienced he was.
All right. Julie Watts reporting live from Ocean Beach, San Francisco.